In this video, we're going to be covering exactly what to offer in your Go High Level agency to maximize your monthly recurring revenue. As always, I'm going to share my screen. If you want access, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and then just hit me up on social media at Alec J. Roy on Facebook or Instagram. Now, in this video, I'm going to be covering essentially what to offer as a beginner, as an intermediate, and as somebody who's a little bit more advanced. So it's going to be tailored for all three level types. Now, heads up, this is a little bit of a longer video because there is a lot to cover in here to really drive home the process behind it. If you've watched any of my content in the past, you will know that I'm not just going to say, hey, go do this, best of luck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the psychology and the mentality behind it, so that way you can continuously pivot what you're doing in your business to really maximize the results you're getting. And so if your industry becomes saturated in this case, you will understand how to pivot your offer. So that is the key takeaway of what we're going to be covering. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. As I said, listen, this is going to be a longer video. If you cannot sit through 25 to 35 minutes of content that's helping you understand exactly what to offer to maximize your monthly recurring revenue, I can't help you. So go ahead and exit the video now. If, on the other hand, you are focused and you are serious about actually scaling your Go High Level agency, I'm giving you free content. Well, I guess the document's over here. I'm giving you free content on how to do this. I'm giving you free sauce on how to do this from somebody who is actually doing it, okay? So if you want to, if you're just unfocused, if you have shiny object syndrome, go ahead and exit the video now. If you're focused, let's bunker down, get out a little notepad if you want, go ahead, get some pen and paper, remove your distractions, and let's dive in. So what do we offer in our Go High Level agency? Well, first thing that we need to do, remember I'm teaching the psychology behind this, is that we need to understand that the customer journey is not the same as the creation journey. There's a massive difference. So the customer journey is generate traffic. So I'm traffic. I start seeing someone's piece of content. I opt into their conversion mechanism. I pay them. They do what they said they were going to pay me, right? So a lead finds your contact, whether it's organic content, SEO, ad, whatever. They find you somehow. They consume enough of your content until they're ready to opt in or purchase whatever it is you are selling. And then when they purchase it, you have to provide what you said that you were going to provide, right? The service provider does what they said they were going to do. When we go to actually create this process, we have to flip the order of it chronologically, meaning you need to create it in reverse order. Here's why. If you have nothing to offer, right here, if you have nothing to offer, right, fulfillment capability, then what are you going to put in your store? If you don't have a store, where are you going to send people? Right? So this is the creation process, and we have to build it in this order. Now, when we're starting with a new client, we have to, at the bare minimum, ensure that the quality of the precursor aspects is acceptable. Here's what I mean. If you're driving traffic to a poor conversion mechanism, which is also known as a client retention model, then your client will become overwhelmed due to a lack of operational structure. When that happens, your client will fail to deliver, or they will rush to deliver, which will result in poor quality, which results in bad reviews, right? Bad reviews result from an inability to deliver either the quality of service or the deliverable in general, right, that the client expected. So this is why in our copy, in our advertising, in our marketing, on our websites, in everything that we do, we have to set expectations in everything we do to essentially avoid overpromising and under-delivering, right? The conversion mechanism handles the rest. The only thing it cannot handle is bad fulfillment. So if I generate you high quality clients and I push them to this beautiful CRM that handles everything, and you don't do what you said you're going to do, that's essentially the client's fault, right? They failed. So when we work with a new client, we need to make sure that we're going in this creation, or at the bare minimum, this evaluation process chronologically. So we need to make sure, cool, can you do what you said you're going to do? Because we cannot promote it if you can't do it. Great, you can, cool. Now we can go ahead and create the conversion mechanism, which can handle all the clients that we're going to generate you. And now let's generate you some clients. We do not fulfill in this order. And the order is very important, because when you go to see the offers that we create, we have to understand the order. A lot of beginners, this may be you, they go, oh, we're going to generate you a bunch of traffic. We're going to generate you a bunch of sales. We're going to generate you a bunch of leads. If that is the first thing that you are doing, you are a rookie making massive mistakes. The first thing you need to do is you need to ensure that the conversion mechanism is put in place. And I'll give you an example. If you, let's say you're phenomenal at generating traffic. Congratulations, you are the best at generating traffic. If you sent your client 100 clients tomorrow, could they fulfill without a drop of a dip in quality? Could they? That's a good question, right? The conversion mechanism needs to be optimized beforehand, and essentially just tailored to the client and the amount of traffic you're going to send them, then you can send the traffic. And then the conversion mechanism can help offload and distribute the work. Otherwise, if you send a bunch of traffic to them and they can't handle it, they will burn out, they will fail, they will rush to deliver, they will get bad reviews, and guess who the client blames when they get bad reviews? Even if you did exactly what you said you're going to do, guess who the client blames? They blame you. Does it make sense? No, but that's why we have to understand the chronological order of fulfillment. So now that we understand the three categories, we can now understand that all offers fall under these three categories, right? And I'm going to show you the best ones to start with as a beginner. Again, if you're an intermediate or advanced, I have stuff for you too. But I'm going to show you the chronological order, not only for the offers in which you should approach them, but also in terms of how you yourself can scale your skill set. Now, naturally, any and every offer you can provide falls under one or more of these categories: traffic, conversion mechanism, fulfillment. That's it. When we're talking about go high level agencies, when you're talking about a digital agency, that is all that you can offer. Is going to be essentially in those three categories, okay? So if you're running ads, if you're doing SEO, if you're doing content creation, if you're doing SMMA, if you're doing messenger pigeons, if you are setting up smoke signals and that is generating traffic, you are in the business of traffic generation. If you're creating landing pages, websites, chatbots, certain automations, CRMs, pipelines, etc., right? Those all result in conversions. And if you're creating automations that help fulfill or do the work, maybe you're offering white label services, maybe you're a subcontractor, maybe you have setters, closers, etc. Those help the client fulfill. So that's all you have: traffic, conversion mechanism, fulfillment. Those are the three offers that you can fall within. And if you disagree, all you're doing is overcomplicating it to push and promote whatever offer you have. It's full of crap. Don't do it. Simplify what you are doing, because then you can communicate very easily to the client. And the easier you can communicate, the better they understand. The better they understand, the more likely they are to work with you. Now, as a beginner, here's what we do. Well, number one, we have to recognize the following. You have no audience, you have no case studies, which is a marketing asset of value, so which means you have zero marketing assets, and you have no experience. That's fine. That's how we all start, right? Nobody comes out of the womb with a full brand built around them. That'd be very, very concerning. So what you need to do is we need to essentially get these, right? We need a fast and effective approach to essentially getting bullet points 1, 2, and 3. So that way we can pivot into inbound lead generation and higher ticket offers, right? And I cover it super in depth on this YouTube video here. It's on the channel. Fastest way to reach your first 25 clients in 2024, regardless of your skill. I'm going to give you a mini breakdown super quickly. Here's the gist. Number one, you pick a niche, because that will help you focus your marketing efforts, your SOP, your digital assets. If you need help with that, I have a video right here, how to reverse engineer the most profitable niche for your digital agency. It outlines everything, right? Number two, you need to create problem agitating content, which will allow you to frame yourself as an expert. So when you do cold outreach just to kickstart the business, prospects will resonate with you. Number three, we start outreach via DMs to Facebook pages because they have no spam filter. And then you push your offer using the PAC framework. If they don't want the offer, you downsell them to follow on your social media. So now you can retarget for 100% free. No other medium does that. You can't do it with cold calling. You can't do it with cold emailing. You can't do it with solicitation in person, which the fact that people still recommend that is mind-boggling. But you just can't do it with anything but social media. And then you're going to engage in Facebook groups and pages, and you're going to create value in these groups. So you're going to push to your content. So what you're going to do is all of the value you create should push to your content, not to your offer. Please do not push to your offer. You will get burned. You will ruin whatever baby brand new reputation you have. It is super risky. I've seen it work maybe 2% of the time. The other 98%, they get dragged through the mud. All right. It's awful. Don't do it. If you don't believe me, go try it out. When you come back beaten and bruised, then you'll believe me. And so what you do then is, as you're landing these clients by assuming all of the risk, which again I cover in this video right here, so I'm not going to go into it, you then put them on this CSM automation where you're upselling them. And so what you do is you check in with them every 2 to 4 weeks. You have a positive pulse check-in. You have a negative pulse check-in. Positive pulse sounds like this: hey, how's everything? Any wins? What's going well? What do you like? Negative check-in goes like this: is there anything we can do better? Is there anything that you're unhappy with? Is there anything we can improve? If you have this two-edged approach, you'll be able to do the following. You'll be able to gather feedback and improve your process, which will reduce churn. you'll be able to gather case studies which you can reintegrate, which will increase your conversion rate and inbound lead generation. And in both settings, if you are showing that you're solving the problem and providing good results, you can upsell them to a level 2 offer, which is essentially client acquisition. And so like I said before, then what you're going to do is you're going to gather and reintegrate case studies into your funnel to increase conversion rates and attract inbound leads like this. Dirty scale, which is the outbound DMs I cover in the video. You push them to a temporary risk adverse conversion mechanism. Again, I covered that in the video where you basically waive the setup fee and waive the first 30 days for a new client. We only do this for a limited amount of time because you do assume quite a bit of work. You then fulfill and collect case studies. The case studies get reintegrated into the temporary risk adverse conversion mechanism to increase conversion rate, and it gets reintegrated into your social media content to increase inbound generation. So again, this is all covered in this video right here. If you have the document, if you want the document, all you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube, like the video, hit me up at Alec J. Roy on Facebook and Instagram. I will send it to you free of charge. No name, no email needed, no phone number, no firstborn child sacrifice. It's extremely painless. So we let the niche dictate everything. This is a recurring theme that you're going to see in my content. If you disagree with me, I could not care less. I'll explain why, but I couldn't care less. So if you're the type of person who's like, you don't need to niche down, I can guarantee that you did not use that advice to make any money, or you are not making any money. Promise you. Now that you have a slight grasp of what to offer and how to pitch it, let's get specific with who you want to serve. Who you work with determines everything. Everything. I cannot over exaggerate this. This is why niching down is crucial. If you do not niche down, then you cannot, number one, create a productized solution, which lets you make money faster because now you're able to target your marketing assets. If you have a case study about lawn care, plumbing, a dentist, how would that apply to any other industry but the industry? Doesn't make sense, right? Math ain't mathin'. Number two, you can't create a productized solution. Yes, it's the same thing, but now we're looking at you can't monitor and improve your quality over time, so you cannot get more effective. The impact or effectiveness of your digital assets, of your training documents, of your marketing, it's going to lose value over time. You need to improve it over time. And then number three, you can't create a productized solution, which means you cannot standardize the sales. You can't standardize your process. You cannot standardize your fulfillment, which means you will never be able to exit your own business. You will be a freelancer to the day you die. So you get the idea. And again, if you need help niching down, you're still not convinced, check out that video right here, how to reverse engineer the most profitable niche for your digital agency. And if you really don't agree, I'm going to go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. Show me 2 industries that want the exact same things in the exact same way. You can't, which means you now need to master multiple niches. Number 2, show me a single successful entrepreneur who did not niche down starting up front. You can't. Gary Vee he mastered Google Ads PPC with his wine company. His dad's wine company, right? Alex Hormozy was Gym Launch. You cannot show me a single entrepreneur who did not niche down, okay? And again, tell me what's easier. Mastering multiple niches, because you can't decide, or just mastering one. Math is mathin' here. Math is mathin'. If you still don't agree, go try for yourself. When you're ready to catch up to the rest of us, come on back. And by the way, I was this exact same way. If you had told me this a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have listened to you. I would have gone and do it because that's what I did, and it sucked, and I'd have way more money if I had to actually listen to this advice that I'm giving you right now. So now that we've understand the order in which we need to fulfill, now that we've understand the severity of niching down, now that we understand that we can get them in on a low-ticket item and upsell them, let's look at these simple pricing structures. So let's get very, very specific, and let's look at the actual offers. So step 1, what you're going to do with a new client is you're going to set up, or at the very least reevaluate, the client retention model, and you're going to do a database reactivation. So the lowest offer that you should provide is a client retention model with no API integration and no rebuild features, okay? I'll explain. You can price this between $97 to $297, maybe a little bit more every month, and I'm going to show you exactly what to include and for what purpose. So on a free trial, you have a website, which is going to be used for organic search, and this goes into the Google Business Profile. You have a funnel, which goes into the paid ads or in social media link. You have automations. So these are going to be niche specific, but you can basically start with just the templates in Go High Level. Then you can document and automate the client's process. So as the client's working, you can say, cool, let's evaluate what you're doing repetitively that we can then replace with automation, saving them both time and money. You're going to do a database reactivation. This will allow you to generate reviews and some clients. I'm not going to say it's going to generate you a bunch of clients and a bunch of reviews, but it will generate enough to kind of get the ball rolling, and it gives them a hint of what could be if they work with you instead of on a client retention model alone, but also a client retention and acquisition model, right? Calendar, super self-explanatory. You can do this for any service. GHL is improving every day. Absolutely love them. And then unlimited everything. So unlimited URLs, unlimited users, right? Unlimited calendars, unlimited websites, unlimited funnels. What are you going to do, right? However you want to phrase it. So basically anything in Go High Level that is free to fulfill. So that means no rebuild features. Otherwise, you will end up eating the cost. Okay, so that's just a free trial that I cover in that video. When they're on the paid packages, you have a tier 1 and tier 2 for the client retention model, right? So in tier 1, it's just basically this. It's the trial package plus anything in Go High Level plus rebuild features. So email, SMS, and phone, because now you have their card on file. So if they're going to be using those features, you can essentially build them, right? And then number 2, you can add templates for those campaigns, email, SMS, and phone, because now they're essentially, because they have access to it, now you can give them templates to actually help them do it. You can even set it up for them if it's custom, right? In tier 2, what you're going to do, and the pricing, by the way, for tier 1, the pricing, by the way, would be like, I would say 97 to $297. You're probably not going to see too many people paying just for this more than $297, because they're going to very quickly find out other people are paying less for the same service. So you don't want to get caught like that, right? They're going to be like, wait, I'm paying more than I should be. That's not a fun conversation. So 97 to 297 is pretty good. Tier 2, you're looking at $297 to about $697. Again, if you go a little bit more, good for you. I just don't want to set unrealistic expectations. What you're doing in tier 2 is you have tier 1 plus third-party integrations with niche-specific software. So if you're dealing with a client who's like in the wedding game, then you can integrate your software. I like to use GHL as a marketing CRM and then push them into an actual client CRM. So that's where you could use it with like the Knot. If you're dealing with blue-collar individuals, you can push them to Service Titan, right? So you can integrate it with whatever CRMs they already have going on, with maybe a CRM that's more custom fit to the industry or the niche itself. If you're working with accountants, you need some kind of software that handles the client, like documents and financials, and keeps it all private, right? So that's where you can integrate it with like an accounting software, right? So that's where you can integrate these and have a custom solution. What's cool is people love to crap on Go High Level, and they're like, it's not really SaaS. SaaS is your own custom software stack. If you start building your own custom software stack by integrating using the open API with whatever CRM they're already using, or you can help them use a new CRM and integrate it, guess what? You're starting to build your own software stack to a degree, right? If you're a big SaaS guy or a big SaaS girl and you're like, that's not true accurately, I could care less. I'm trying to really simplify this down, okay? And then you can add in chatbot plus advanced automations. So that's where you can offer premium automations or really complicated automations. If you know what a chatbot is, you know it's a form of an advanced automation, right? Warning, this is something I see all the time. If you are doing the free trial using the model I explained earlier, there's no rebilling under the free trial because you will end up eating the cost. I don't like to do WordPress under the free trial because you'll essentially eat the time in the customization. I'd rather go with like a just Go high level template. And I'll show you how you can actually have a setup fee, which will help you out. But on the free trial as a beginner, no rebilling, no WordPress website. So anything in Go High Level that you can offer without additional cost is free game. And then what I like to do, I hate when I go to a website and people have like 5, 6, 7 plans. It's ridiculous. 2 plans. Everything within High Level, advanced automations plus advanced integrations on the higher plan. That's it. And then we look at the client acquisition model. So remember, once you have them on this plan, then you're doing your bi-monthly check-in. Hey, how you like everything? Hey, is there anything we can improve? And then that's where it's going to open you up to push them to a client acquisition model. I have something if you don't want to actually do this. You can still make money off of this. I'm going to show you. So this, again, depends solely on the niche. You need to understand what generates leads and clients for the industry. So you have to look at your competition. You have to understand the industry, right? And while the models may overlap with certain industries, the messaging, the offers themselves, the creatives, etc., they all need to pivot based on who you are working with. I'll give you an example that you can understand. Tailored suits cost more than off-the-rack suits, right? So stop selling off-the-rack marketing methods and start selling tailored suits. There's 2 ways to approach this. I have done both. Number 1, you handle the marketing. So you can push them into your SEO offer, your paid ads offer, your cold email offer. You can push them into a combination or a myriad of the 3 because you have your own socials or your own paid marketing strategy, right? So you can push them into that, right? And then what you need to do is you need to require them to follow whatever marketing strategy that you have. Otherwise, it's not going to work, okay? So if you're like, hey, I'm working with blue collar, then what we're going to do is we're going to do local SEO, PPC, local ads, meta, and we're going to do some mailers, right? Basically, look at your competition if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But usually you'll have a good idea before you get into it. Look at your competition, right? And this is where it changes, right? Because mailers don't make sense for, digital marketing agencies. That makes no sense. So if you're working with marketing agencies, that doesn't make sense. If you're working with blue collar, that makes sense. If you're a wedding photographer, mailers don't make sense, right? Maybe it does if you really know the industry and you know how to find people who are like looking at, wedding magazines, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So number one is you handle the marketing. You require them to follow your strategy. I'll give you one more analogy on this that really helps people understand it. When you go to a neurosurgeon, you don't go, hey, doc, this is how I want you to do the surgery. The doctor's going to look at you and be like, no, we do this my way because I'm the professional who can solve this problem. You are not the professional, so you're not going to tell me how to do it. You can either say yes to my method and my process, or you can go to somebody else who will be crazy enough to do whatever it is you think you want to do, even though you have no degree, right? So position yourself as a neurosurgeon. You're not going to make neurosurgeon money off of one client, but you will if you do it enough times. Now, here's another really cool method for if you are brand new, or if you just really don't want to do marketing. You do not handle the marketing. So you still can push them into a marketing plan. You do not handle the marketing, and I'm not even going to tell you to white label it. Check this out. You can hand the leads over to a marketing agency for a kickback because you're bringing them a client. So you can partner with a buddy of yours, or you can make friends and say, hey, I will send you free leads if you can fulfill and give me a kickback. I did this with a friend of mine. I remember checking my phone one time, and I had a business buddy of mine. He just PayPal'd me $1,000. It was crazy. I was like at my in-laws' house, looking at my wife, and I was like, I think I just got a bill for $1,000. And I was like, wait, no, he just sent me $1,000, right? Easiest money I ever made, because all I did was hand him over to somebody and he was ready to buy. Here's a little screenshot. It was $1,000 before fees, right? Thanks, PayPal. And so that's how, if you can basically upsell them into whatever this is, and this is the same thing. You basically have your marketing assets where you're basically just leveraging the fact that you've achieved results for somebody before, right? And then if you don't want to do it, you just hand them over to somebody really professional like this guy. The third option you can do, this is definitely more of an advanced, and I'm even going to put that in parentheses here. Let's put more advanced. Once you have done this for your own business, you can turn around and help other people do it. I probably wouldn't do it as a beginner because you have no idea what they need to do. I mean, you can if you want, but I wouldn't do it. Let's just say that. So this revolves around supporting the client with the execution of daily tasks. So this is where, if you want to help out with their client operation, so you can do a client operation models, definitely a little bit more advanced. This is where you're setting VAs in their organization. You're helping them with setters and closers, which you need to give them scripts. You need to make sure you're tracking metrics. You need to training them. And then you can even do white label fulfillment services. So let's say you maybe up here, instead of saying, hey, you can handle the marketing, but you can actually outsource this to me, and you can just slap your logo on my work and I'll do the work for you. And you bring me clients, I'll do the work, and then you can keep whatever above me, right? So if you're charging me $500, you can add X amount to the top and you can keep that, right? Pricing, you're probably going to be, I've seen as low as $200. I'm probably going to put this closer to $1,500 to $3,000 a month. And for a lot of people, they're like, wow, that's really attractive. If you botch this and you're not really good at doing this, it's definitely a little bit harder to pitch. It's definitely a little bit harder to retain. But if you botch this, good luck ever getting hired again. So don't let the price distract you. Don't be greedy. Build a brand, build a business, not a side hustle, okay? What's cool is you can even use snapshots of how to run the back end of a business. So for example, for me, when I work with a client, we do custom solutions, but like the standard go-to would be like Go High Level, Zapier or Make, whatever kind of third-party automation you want to use, Slack, or whatever centralized communication. Slack is just the best. ClickUp or whatever project management. Again, ClickUp is just the best. And then whatever niche specific software. So what you can do is you can bundle all that together. You can even add in there a WordPress website. You can charge a really nice setup fee for doing this. I'm aiming right now, I'm hitting between 4 and 10K per setup fee, not including the back end retainer, which is between $97 and $497. I'm actually moving this up to $15K because I'm adding in a videography package. I'm adding in scripts and everything for the setters, closers, VAs, and maybe a list of white label fulfillment services. So it's really going to be a nice turnkey solution. Now, how do we put this all together for your specific industry, for a specific client? How do we actually let rubber hit the road? Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to say, here's a hypothetical, here's a theoretical, good luck, get out of here. No, let me show you how to actually apply this now, right? So the niche dictates the offer, but the client dictates the chronological order in which we apply and manipulate the process to generate results. So let me explain. This is what I call the triangle ascension offer model. So you're going to see there's a graph here, severity of problems as it increases, variety of problems here, right? So a beginner is going to have a wide array of problems, but none are difficult, right? You can see severity is pretty shallow. As clients increase in complexity, okay, the variety of problems gets more narrow, right? You can see more and more narrow. and the severity of problems increases. So it's an inverse relationship. As this decreases, as the variety decreases, the severity increases. This is what we call an inverse relationship, right? This is why advanced clients will pay top dollar to fix a hyper-specific problem, because they have one bottleneck. It's a very, look how narrow the variety of problems can be, right? And it's the only bottleneck preventing growth. This is also why beginners will not spend a lot of money, because the severity of problems is very low, meaning that there are multiple people who can essentially provide this solution. They don't need you specifically, so they really don't need to pay top dollar for you. They just need to have somebody fill this role, right? Now, the end result for any business, I don't care what business you're in, it's to automate, expand, and or exit the business, right? And when I say exit, I either mean exit the position or sell it altogether. Right? So think about this. Elon Musk doesn't work in his business, right? He acts as a very senior position, but he is not on the ground working in his business, besides, shooting bow and arrows or, throwing rocks at his car, right? Mark Zuckerberg is probably not coding still, right? So they are exiting the actual work of the business. This is the goal. Now, starting out, he was probably doing a lot of the work, and, as he increased, he was able to do less and less of the work. So it's your job to basically help your clients do something very, very similar, right? The only way we can do that is by understanding your niche. This will allow you to craft a chronological order of operations to achieve this goal. So as you are working as a beginner, so if you look at that training, how to get your first 25 clients, what I cover in there, what I'm going to reiterate now, is you need to document the process. So you need to niche down, because niching down will help you target your messaging. As you target your messaging, you have clients coming on board. As clients are coming on board, you need to speak with them using the CSM illustrations I gave you, where you need to engage with them a positive and a negative pulse check. You need to gather feedback, gather case studies, and you need to document your process as you go. As you document your process, the clients will tell you, this is what we want. As you actually go to fulfill, you will understand, I have to do this before I do that, right? So I can't promote a website if I don't have a domain linked. So domain would come before. And as you start adding more and more tasks, you start fitting them in. You start almost alphabetizing them, or having your own version of a Dewey Decimal System, right? Where you're basically able to understand the exact order. It's like, cool, I have 500 tasks, and then cool, I have 500 first task. Where does that fit in the order, right? So you're almost alphabetizing your tasks in a way, right? Just chronologically ordering them. And so you need to document your process. As you document it, you create what's called an SOP. So I like to document it in a Google Doc. You have a standard operating procedure, and then you can hand that off to a virtual assistant. So that way, as a client comes on, now you have an order of operations, or an SOP, for your onboarding. You have an order of operations for client retention. You have an order of operations for client acquisition models. You have an order of operations for client operation models. So you see, this is all dictated by the niche. So when I'm telling you, starting out, have your two client retention model offers, and then have your client acquisition offer, which I like to do one plan and have them follow my method only. And the price can still vary depending on inputs and outputs. And then if you want to do your client operation models, I also like to make that one plan, because it's a packaged offer, done for you setup, and then the ball starts rolling. And again, you have to explain them. You have to set expectations. We do this my way because my way works. The minute we start chipping away from my process, you are no longer going to be guaranteed those results. So that is why I like to do that in this order. Now, what are the next steps? You can do this 100% alone. You can. This is the exact way that I try to do it. It's extremely challenging. Or you can do it with me. Right? So if you work with me, you're going to get these results much, much faster and much, much quicker if you were to do it alone. And think about this. SASO University is free to any Go High Level affiliate. Right now, as of December 12th, 2023, it is $49 a month. In January of 2024, it will be $98 a month. Why am I telling you that? If you land one client right now, you are covering double the fee. You are profiting off of one client if you join SASO University, where I give you the exact scripts to do this for you, okay? I walk you through it. We have the group calls. You're going to see all the stuff you get in it, okay? If you don't want to do it, every month that passes by, you are falling further and further behind. Again, you don't need my help specifically. You can go to any affiliate coach that actually knows what they're talking about. I have a whole video on how to make sure that you don't have a scam affiliate as your coach. But as long as somebody is helping you with this process, you're going to get there much, much faster, okay? You're going to be able to get your case studies faster. You're going to have higher quality case studies. You're going to get the exact scripts for your social media content. You're going to get DM scripts. You're going to get sales call scripts. And you'll be able to create a protocol that allows you to scale up while retaining previous customers. So this is everything you get as a member of the program. So when you join, I'm going to be guiding you on building your entire funnel and a social media strategy via 2 one-on-one onboarding calls and a group coaching environment. You're going to get access to my full antithetical market offer and $0 client acquisition model process with handheld support via our exclusive community where I reply to every single message. I can't tell you how many scam affiliates I see. They don't even engage in their own group. All their members come over to me because I take them. And you're going to get free website and funnel reviews via a Loom video, so I can help you build more converting landing pages from step 1. Immediate access to free trainings released centered on client acquisition, scaling, fulfillment, optimization, and more. We have 90-minute group coaching calls every single week to keep you on track and show you how to scale. And these are actually increasing to twice a week coming in 2024, where I have one that's early afternoon and one that's later evening to fit around your schedule. And you can come to both. You're going to learn how to streamline and automate your business and other businesses using Six Sigma practices tailored to local service-based businesses. Nobody else is offering that. We also have a local SEO course coming early 2024, so you can learn how to do some client acquisition work for your clients, and a full SOP on how to automate your agency so you can work less than 3 hours a day, just like me, once your business replaces your full-time job. In my case right now, it's a supplemental income. It's absolutely mind-boggling. My goal, if you want to know anything about me, my goal is to basically just drop 6 figures into my account, and then I don't even know if I want to keep working anymore. And then there's a link here if you want to join SASO University. As always, if you want to copy this document, all you have to do is follow or subscribe rather to the YouTube channel, like the video, hit me up on social media at Alec J. Roy, and I will give it to you free of charge. I hope this helps. If you stuck to the end, then you probably are someone who's serious. That's the only type of individuals I want in SASO University. If you're not serious, don't even bother. It's just a waste of your time, wasting my time. If you are serious, hit me up. You'll get the document for free, and we can have a cool conversation. Have a good one.